All right, ladies and gentlemen, listen. So what are we talking about right now? We're going to be talking about Stellar Blade, okay? And we've had a discussion about Stellar Blade before, and we've talked about whether or not it's a win or, it's a small win, big win, not a win, whatever. I don't really care at this point, okay? Because we're still going along with the petition. We're still sending it to Shift Up directly. We're still doing our thing, and that's what it is, right? But what I want to talk about is this article in particular, okay? And we spoke about this a little bit on Saturday Night Hypnosis, but you guys know SNH could get a little bit crazy. So I wanted to bring it back up again. And also, there's been a little bit of a discovery. So on Saturday Night Hypnosis, Leon said that Claire Jackson was a pseudonym for basically anybody at Kotaku. Now, that's not true, actually. Okay, we actually found out that Claire Jackson, as expected, is a real person. And the funny thing is, whenever you click the profile of someone over at Kotaku, if they do not have a picture attached to it, there is a very high probability. I'm talking like 98% probability that this person is trans. Okay, that's usually what happens over at Kotaku. Carolyn Petit does the same exact thing. He uses a anime profile picture to make himself look more feminine, even though obviously in real life he looks nothing like that, but that's just whatever. So apparently Claire Jackson is actually an extremely angry trans person. Now, I did manage to very easily track down Claire Jackson's Twitter because it's easy, right? Like they have their titles in the bios of their Twitter. They have all the information. You just Google Claire Jackson Kotaku, it comes right up. It's very, very easy. So I'm going to show you guys a picture of Claire Jackson. Again, this is all readily available information online. But as you can see, they look like they are a bundle of joy. Okay, this person is a bundle of joy. They're obviously extremely happy with their position. They are very excited to be working at Kotaku. I mean, it's pretty obvious at this point. But yes, this is most likely not a female, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just be a little real here. I think we are understanding as to what we are looking at. But regardless, Clarence Jackson, Gilmer said Clarence Jackson. Cronaro said ill, so happy. Yeah, clearly they're very, very happy to be, working at Kotaku, right? And it's just it seems to be a consistent thing, right? Like the level of happiness combined with trans ideology almost always seems to be the same, right? They are absolutely miserable people and they always want to pretend as if they're not, but it almost always is tied to being trans. Okay, well, enough of that shit. This person decided to write an article titled "How to Get Stellar Blade's New Very Revealing Outfits." Just when you thought you've seen enough of Eve, now you can see almost all of her. Okay, so again, from the beginning, title not too terrible. Okay, I would imagine that most people clicking on this article didn't even realize the clusterfuck that they were about to get when they got a little bit further into it. And it didn't even take that much. Literally the first 3 paragraphs is this person telling you how terrible you are for wanting to see a little bit more of a revealing Eve, like what was promised before the game launched. But again, this is from someone who is extremely angry. It all starts to make sense, right? It all starts to make sense when you understand that they don't like standardized beauty. I say this all the time. I said it on SNH, and I'm going to say it again. They don't like standardized beauty. They don't like what is deemed standardized beauty. And the reason why is because standardized beauty is very difficult, if not near impossible, for a trans woman to attain. Okay, they have to spend either a lot of money or just happen to be very lucky to be blessed with certain genes that are more feminine than masculine. But 99% of them cannot pass as a standard beautiful woman. It's just fucking impossible. So they end up getting extremely angry. They get jealous and they get envious at the fact that, when you have Eastern characters like Eve coming to the West, they can't handle it. They don't want to see it. It's not something they want to be publicly available. They want to make sure that they androgynize everything that they could possibly get their hands on. So if they can't do it, then obviously censorship is the next way to go, where they try to cover up the stuff that they can't attain, right? So these people can't get breasts, right? They can't get large breasts, let alone small breasts. They can't grow any at all unless they get massively overweight. But most of them are not overweight because they're usually drug addicts too, but that's a whole nother story. This person loses their mind over the fact that Eve now has 2 standard revealing outfits similar to what was promised before the game launched. So let's go over these 3 paragraphs because this is all we really need to talk about right here. to get our point across. It says, oh, hey, there's a cute new attire for Eve in Cellerblade, thanks to version 1.003. And yup, adults on the internet are reacting in a totally healthy, productive, and mature way about it. Now, this is the same person who I want you to understand was the picture that we just saw who looked like a bundle of happiness, okay? This is the same person who's trying to claim everybody else is acting unhealthily, you know, with Eve from Cellerblade. Yeah, totally healthy mindset coming from this person. But let's keep going. He says, well, no, that's not fucking true at all. As expected, some people are thrilled to see more digital nudity, while others are stamping their feet upset that Shift Up hasn't given them what they wanted, which is free speech and digital tits. Y'all know porn exists, right? And the people there don't wear any clothes. Anyway, should you want to grab these revealing new outfits or try on the other new ones, which, in my opinion, are far more tasteful, cute, and sexy, read on. Yes, they're a lot more tasteful and cute and sexy to you because they cover up the things that you can't get, right? They cover up the things that you can't attain. That's the whole reason why you find them to be more attractive, all right? Now, the funny thing is, this person right here is trying to say that everybody else is unhealthy for not wanting to see digital tits, when I would argue that the person who is angry over the fact that digital tits even exist is probably the one that's not exactly the most mentally healthy, if you catch my drift. Okay, this person is very clearly upset over the fact that everyone else is enjoying digital tits when they are upset because they can't actually get real tits to begin with. That's the funny thing. So I would argue if you are so angry at that, perhaps you should take a step back and realize, like, hey, maybe there's something to this, right? Maybe there's something to this where people actually enjoy this stuff. It's called sex sales. You know, it's like sex sales has been a thing since the dawn of time. And I don't understand why people like this now want to suddenly pretend that that's not a thing, because I guarantee you, actually, I don't even have to guarantee you. It's already been proven, ladies and gentlemen. All you have to do is, if you take Eve, right? Take Eve and keep her titties the same, keep her ass the same, and keep the revealing outfits the same. But take Eve, right? Switch her face and make her face masculine. Give her the Aphrodite treatment from Hades. If you were to do that, these same people would suddenly be praising Eve as the most amazing representation on the internet. But because she is standardized beauty, because she has soft features, because she has the very typical feminine features from head to toe, all of a sudden that's a problem, and they got to have an issue with it, right? So they're unbelievable hypocrites, and we've proven that time and time again that they are hypocrites. This is why the statement "safe horny" is a thing. We even had Leon, I believe it was Leon or Will of the Fans, one of the two, define safe horny. Oh, it was Will of the Fans, yeah. Like, there's literally a definition for safe horny, and this is what they are. They want to look like them. Absolutely, Yamato, you are 100% correct. They want to look like Eve, but they know they cannot do it. It's impossible. It is biologically and physically impossible. And it's going to cost a lot of money for them to get anywhere close to looking like her. They lose their mind over it. They lose their mind. And it's funny, man. It is absolutely funny. So I just thought that this was interesting because now this brings it all into perspective. Okay. And I want to drive it home before we finish this topic. When I read this article, okay, I didn't know who wrote it, but we were all making jokes that it sounds like it's coming from a very ugly bitch, okay? Like a very, very ugly person wrote this article out of complete jealousy and envy. And we were sort of accurate, okay? We were kind of accurate. It is an ugly bitch. It just happens to be an ugly dude pretending to be an ugly bitch, because actually they are ugly. I mean, it is what it is. This all makes so much more sense when you understand and you're able to see the people who are writing these articles. You 100% get a clearer picture over the entire message that they're trying to portray. Okay, so shout out to Claire Jackson. You are now famous, obviously, and you got your article out there. You vented it, right? And let me make this also very clear too before we finish. Hold on, let me bring this back up. I'll stop killing you guys with the ugly looks. These 3 paragraphs, I want you to think about from a professional standpoint. Kotaku, right? You're trying to pretend as if you're some sort of bastion for gaming news, right? You're supposed to be a place where people go to want to learn more about gaming. Perhaps you want to focus on game guides, right? Well, imagine if one of your potential viewers went to Kotaku and saw this article and clicked on it in the hopes that they can find out how to access these 2 new outfits that they've heard about, right? They went to your website, and then when they went to your website and clicked it, they got fucking inundated with culture war stuff that they didn't even ask for. Now you have people that are probably usually, not in the culture war. Maybe they're outside of it, whether by choice or whether by the fact they want to remain ignorant, whatever the case may be. You have people who are outside the culture war just trying to find some fucking gaming information, and they can't even do that. They can't even do that. They can't go to Kotaku without getting inundated with culture war shit. It's impossible.